Hello and welcome back. We are moving on to algebraic expressions. We will be adding linear expressions, subtracting linear expressions. We'll be simplifying, like this one here, algebraic expressions. So let's first talk about what is an expression. Okay, an expression is basically it's an equation without an equal sign. Okay, so let me show an example of that. For example, an expression. This is an expression. 3 plus 5. Now, when you put the equal sign, this, okay, becomes an equation. Equal sign makes an equation. Without the equal sign, just an expression. Okay? So, what makes an algebraic expression? Well, algebra is when you start introducing variables. X, Y, Z, A, B, C, D, all the different letters, okay, letters of the alphabet are what makes it an algebraic expression. So let's say 3 plus 5x. This is an algebraic expression. Now we are trying to simplify them. This one's already simplified, and I'll get to explain why in a minute, but this one's already simplified. Now we could use y's, and that's still an algebraic expression. As soon as you start putting an equal sign, now it's an equation. Okay, so that's the difference between an expression and an equation. Now, let's see, we'll leave that like that. Let's talk about some terminology we need to work on, or talk about terms. Term, as I kind of briefly stated in another video, terms are each of these kind of like numbers. So some terms don't have a variable, some terms have a variable. 5x. 5x means 5 times x. That means it's x times x times, 5x's, so it's x, there's 5 of those. That's what gives you the 5x, okay? It's x plus x plus x plus x. Together they give you 5 of them. Y is y plus y, because 1y plus 1y will give you 2y. That's how we get those. So terms are basically, let me see, let me get my blue, is every time you see a plus or a minus, a term is kind of broken up right there. Like that. Now the signs, we said earlier, the sign in front go with it. Okay? So 3 plus 5x. 3 is a term. 3 is a positive 3. Again, at the beginning, if you don't see the sign, it's a positive. So there's a positive 3, there's a positive 5x, there's a positive 2y, and a negative 21. Those are the terms. Because what we're doing when we're simplifying algebraic expressions is you're finding the like terms. You're finding the terms that are similar and you're combining them. You're putting them together. All right? Some other things to know, okay, another term or another word to work on is a number without a variable like 3 and negative 21. Those are constants. A constant is a number without a variable. Again, I suggest you write this down. Keep track of these. I'm not going to have time to put them all up on the board, and I need the space for the example problem. So again, terms, okay, are the different parts that make the expression or make the equation. So 3 is a term. Anywhere you see a plus or a minus, it kind of chops it up. So in this whole thing here, 1, 2, 3, 4, there are 4 terms in this problem or on this in this expression. Okay, let's see. So constant, again, a constant is a number without a variable. Now if it has a variable, okay, these are still terms, but the number in front, the positive 5 and the positive 2, are called coefficients. Co means together, means with. So these are coefficients, numbers with variables. Without are constants, with a variable, those are coefficients, okay? So with those terms, with those words, you know, with that terminology given to you, hopefully you'll get used to me saying them. I say them all the time. I say them in class, I say them on the videos. So hopefully we're kind of on the same page. All right, simplifying algebraic expressions. We're trying to find like terms. We're trying to find like terms. So what makes a term, or 2 terms, like each other? Okay, what makes them similar? What makes them similar, and I like to think of it, there's 2 kind of check boxes we need to look at, okay? Same variable. That's kind of the first box. And the second box is same exponent. Now, we shouldn't be dealing with exponents on this work, but moving forward, we will down the road. So it's good to go ahead and know that there are two characteristics, two qualities that terms must have for them to be considered like terms or similar, same terms. So let me get rid of all these blue lines. Now, when it says for this first one, same variable, that also means that if it's a constant, constants are the same, constants are like. So let's see here. For this one here, and once you combine all your like terms, it's simplified, you're done. So there's not going to be a simple answer like a 5, a -5, a 21. Your answers are going to have variables and things mixed in with them. So let's work this one out right here. 3 is a constant. Are there any other constants up here? Well, we've already said there is, right? Constants are numbers without variables, -21. So what we're going to do, there's different ways to show your work on this. It's up to you on how you want to show it. But you're going to take this +3, remember the sign in front, and this -21, you can combine them together. I generally kind of draw lines and showing they're going together. If you'd like to go on the side and you say, well, it's 3 minus 21, okay, then you can do that. However you like to do it, but I need to know that you are combining these two together. So 3 minus 21, think back, okay, to all of our things. This is why we started out with adding and subtracting integers, because they're everywhere. Okay, 3 minus 21, different signs. What do we know about different signs? They subtract, okay? When you're dealing with addition and subtraction, different signs subtract. So subtract those two numbers, and we get 18. Sorry, I got a little off there. 18, okay? Now we also know with different signs, when they subtract, you take the sign from a larger number. 21 is larger, 21 is negative, so it's a -18. So when you combine these two and you put them together, you have a -18. X's, are there any other X's in here? Again, same variable, so we're looking for other X's. There's no more X's, so this +5X just moves down. So let's move it down. What about our Y's? Any other Y's? There's no other Y's, there's nothing else left. There's no Y's, so again, this one just moves down. Okay? This is your final answer. Okay, this is not a difficult one. I mean, there's more, the ones in the homework and things, there's more challenging to it, but I just kind of want to start out with this. This is done, okay? However, I will accept this answer. We are still learning, but as we move on and as you are with me in the future, these need to have constants in the end. And if you have variables like this, it needs to go alphabetical. That's the correct way. I'm not going to take off again if you want to present this as an answer. But the correct way of doing it is X comes before Y in the alphabet. 5X. Now 5 is positive, so you don't need to put the plus, right? Remember we talked about it up here, if there's no sign, it's plus. 5X plus 2Y, and the negative becomes your minus sign. Again, this is the final answer. This is the type of stuff I believe you'll see in the answer key written this way. If your answer's like this, just make sure, is my 18 negative? Yes. 5 is positive, 2 is positive. This is correct. This is the technical way of actually doing it. This is the way that your answer key, I believe, let me double check. I believe we'll be showing it that way. Yes, alphabetical, and then putting the putting the constant at the end. Okay, let's do another one of those. Hopefully, this isn't gonna be too blotchy looking. Okay, so let's do another one. Let's go with, let's see, 17 t plus 5w minus 21 plus 17 minus 5t. Okay, I know we're kind of jumping right in, and some of these problems, and your homework problems are going to look like this. Some of them, a lot of them are even longer than this one. But again, you take it step by step. We're trying to find like terms. First off, let's find out how many terms are on here. You guys remember what I said earlier? How many terms? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Remember 5, it's everywhere you see a plus or a minus, it's kind of like cutting it up, chopping it up, and this chops up into 5 pieces. So we have 5 terms. So our term, this one here, this is our coefficient. and this is a t. So we have a t, we have a w, we have a constant. Remember, a constant is a number without a variable. We have another constant, and we have another t. So we have two constants and two t's, so we already know what's going to be put together, okay? Again, remember, like terms mean same variable and same exponent, but again, I don't think we're worrying about exponents in this lesson, but it is a rule, so it's good to know that it is there. So, 17t. So we have a positive 17t and a negative 5t. So we're going to put those together, okay? So 17, and again, if we have to, you can do this. 17 minus 5. 17 minus 5, different sign, subtract, take the sign from a larger number is positive. So this gives us a 17, 12, and don't forget your t, okay? So 12t is what we get there. Now, we don't have any w's, okay? So we're gonna just move the w down here. This guy just goes straight down, okay? There's no one else like him. There's no one else with a w, so just move him down. Now what we're left with are two constants. So if it helps, I have some students, when they show, they kind of like do squigglies. So you have your straight lines and your squigglies, or however you want to do it. Just, I need you to write on this somehow and show me that you know what's combined with what. So that gives us negative 21 plus 17. Again, different signs, subtract. So that would give us a 4. And 21 is larger, 21 is negative, so it's a minus sign, okay? This here is already in alphabetical order, T, W, constant. So we are done. Again, if it was in a different order, you can do that. The answer key is gonna be this way because this is the way that it's supposed to be written. So another way to write it if you wanted, I mean, there's a couple different ways you can rewrite this answer. That's a W. There's a couple different ways to rewrite this answer because the W on the 5 is positive, so it's positive. The 4 is negative, and the 12 is positive. So there's a lot of different ways that it can kind of be written to where it's still correct. All right, let's see. I think we're getting the hang of it. I'm gonna do some sample problems I want you to work on, and we'll see how you do. I'm gonna have to clean this a little better. All right. So again, I'm hoping that all the integers and all the work we've done already so far with the videos and everything this summer, I'm hoping it's making sense and that we are ready for this kind of stuff because again, this is, integers are still here. It's everywhere. We learned it earlier and they're showing up again with algebraic expressions. They will not go away. Integers will be around. All right, let's do another one. Here we go. Let's go negative 5x plus 3y plus 21 minus 16y minus 5 plus 20x. Okay, so again, a lot of terms here. So let's count the terms. Remember, everywhere you see a plus or a minus is going to be, it kind of cuts between the two terms. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 terms, okay? And again, look at your variables and constants. You have an x, a y, a constant, a y, a constant, and an x. Okay, so that's what we're dealing with, so let's start combining them together. If you'd like, another way to do it, actually, I'm going to let you do this first, and you see what you get for the answer. So go ahead and get working on it. All right, so the way that this works, you can do this to start, and this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go ahead and find my terms, my like terms, and I'm gonna go ahead and kind of put little signs or signals on them. So my x's I'm gonna underline. This is a negative 5x. Where's my other x? I have a positive 20. Now you can do it in different colors, you can do different things. I'm gonna do the same because you guys will be working with one other thing I didn't mention yet. During the summer, I don't mind if you want to use pencil or pen in the classroom. And homework, once August starts and school starts, it's pencils always and pencils only. Okay, I'll be reminding you when the school year starts. But right now at home, it's summer. Use what you got to use, but just keep in mind. I mean, if you have a pen or I don't know, a marker or something crazy like that you're using, I mean, you make mistakes. You need an eraser. So make sure it's just probably better if you use pencil. All right. So again, here's our X's. Let's do our Y's. I'm gonna do little squigglies for our Y's. This way they kind of stand out. And then our constants are left. I can leave them blank, or let's see. I'm just gonna kind of put a box or something around them there. Now by glancing at this, you should be able to quickly tell Y's, because they got the squigglies. X's have the lines, and my constants have the boxes or circles, or I mean, however you want to do it. If you want to do it this way, this is just easier for me. It just stands out, and now I just need to do the work. Now keep in mind, when you do your lines and your boxes and your squiggly lines, make sure that you remember the sign in front goes with it. Okay. Sorry. The way that works is because when you're adding 20x, it means it's a positive. When you're subtracting 5, it's a negative. So that's why the sign goes with it. Okay? Think about when you're walking somewhere. If you can't remember, is the positive in front or the behind, or which way? Typically, we walk forward, okay? Or we're reaching forward when you're going places. So always use the sign that's in front, okay? So what's in front of the 5? The negative. What's in front of the 16? The negative. What's in front of the 21? The positive. So it's what's in front of them. Okay, we read left to right. So the first thing we see before the 5 is the negative. Okay. All right. So let's put these together. So those two go together. These two go together, and these two go together. This is just the way that I see it. I prefer doing it this way. I have some students, they'll take them and they'll just write it all over to the side, and they'll do it that way. Maybe we'll do that on the next one. Just so I can show you different ways, and you kind of pick the way that's best for you. All right, so we have these two. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna write it out. Negative 5x plus 20x. Okay, then we have these two. 3y minus 16y, and the 3 is positive, so I'm not gonna put a positive in front. 21 minus 5. Okay, this is kind of like put into 3 little sections. These are our 3 terms. Our 3 terms, we're gonna have an x at the end, we're gonna have a y at the end, and we're gonna have a constant at the end. We just gotta find out what those signs and what those numbers are. So now it's 5x plus 20, different signs subtract, take the sign from the larger number. So this gives us a positive 15x. And then we have them over here. We don't know the sign yet, if it's a plus or minus, we have to find out what this is. 3y minus 16y, different signs subtract, take the sign from the larger number. Okay, again, if you don't understand how we got that, pause this, figure out before we move on. Don't just, oh yeah, I'll figure it out. Make sure that you know how I got to negative 13. 21 minus 5, different signs subtract, take the sign from a larger number, and we have 16. This is an alphabetical x, y constant, so we're good to go. Again, it doesn't have to be this way. Things can be moved around. Just make sure that you have a minus or a negative in front of your 16 and a minus or a negative in front of the 13, okay? Let's do another one. I'm gonna let you work it out, and then I'm going to do a different method of kind of taking this shown work, okay? All right, let's do last one. But this is kind of step 1 into this kind of chapter, if you will. Yeah, there's not too many. Let's do this. All right, so negative 7, let's go A, plus 12C minus 19 minus 4B plus 15C minus 13. Let's go 13A. All right, so again, I'm gonna get rid of this. We know what this is. All right, so this is the expression we're trying to simplify now. So again, you have A, you have a C, you have a constant, a B, a C, and an A. So I only heard one constant, so this constant should just go straight to the answer, but we'll wait on that. So all the A, B's, and C's, actually A and C, they have somebody they're going to kind of be paired with. So this is what we're going to do. Another way of showing your work, you can still do all the lines and the squiggles if you want. So I'm just going to do that. There, where's my B? I only have one B. C, I'm going to put a box around. And my constant I'll just leave blank. Okay, if you want to put another shape around it, you can. It's up to you. Well, my A's, I'm going to put my A's together. Negative 7A minus 13A. I'm going to put my B's together. I'm going to put my C's together. And my constants together. Okay, another way to do that is literally take this and just kind of work down. A, B, C, constant. And then we can see already these don't have a partner, they don't have a like term, so these are done. We just got to do the math on these two. Okay, this is another way to show your work. And if you wanted to, you didn't have to do all these lines and squiggly lines, and you could just count your terms. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Do I have 6 over here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Good. So all of these made their way down here. Let's do the math. Negative 7 minus 13. Negative 7 minus 13, same signs, add. Keep your sign. Negative 20A. Oh, I forgot to tell you guys to do the work. All right, I'm going to stop here. I want you guys to kind of work this out and see what you get from here. Sorry about that, I forgot. All right. All right, let's see. Let's try to finish it up. All right, this one's good. This one, the 19 is good. Now we just need 12C plus 15C. Same signs, add. Keep your sign. So 27C. If you have to, again, you can write it out to the side. Add them up. It is 27. Okay. So these are our three terms these are our terms left. Here's our A, here's our B, here's our C, and here's our, I almost said D, but it's our constant. So take them and write them in a final answer. Negative 28 minus 4B plus 27C minus, because of the negative, right? The negatives become the minus signs. This is why I said the sign in front goes with it. This is where it kind of really comes in handy. And there's our final answer. And it's even in alphabetical order because we did it in alphabetical order when we wrote it over here. So there's two different ways for you to kind of show your work in different manners and still come up with the same answer or the correct answer. So it's up to you guys. I know I said that this was the last one, but I kind of messed up and you guys didn't get to work one out on this one. One more, you're working it out, and then that's it. All right. All right, I'm going to leave all the smudges and stuff up here. We're just going to get through it. Let's go. Let's see. Let me see if I can take one from here. All right. Negative 5 minus 12F minus 6 minus 10. Oh, yeah. We'll do that. 10. I missed a Q plus 5Q minus F. So here's something I forgot to mention earlier. When you have just a variable and there's no coefficient in front, there's always a 1. If you don't see a coefficient, there's a 1. So if it helps to remind yourself, you can always just put a 1 if you'd like so you don't forget. It's up to you. I'm not going to right now, but there is a 1 in front. Let's make another one. Let's do Q. There we go. We'll do it like that. And make this a plus. There we go. So there's our problem. All right. Again, a Q. This is a Q. It's not a 9. It's a Q. Ooh, sorry about that. That was loud. Okay. Those are Q's. Try this. Again, the number in front of that F is a 1. It's actually a negative 1 because the minus. The number in front of this Q is a 1. So I want you to try this and see how you do, and then we'll work it out. All right, so let's see how you did. I'm gonna go ahead and do all my lines and squigglies and stuff, okay? Again, you don't have to do it this way, but this, for me, it's easier for me to see. Constant, constant. I have an F here and I have an F here. So these will be my squigglies, okay? Now I have two Q's, so I'm gonna kind of put them in little boxes. All right, again, you can show your work, you can work it out, you can list them over here if that was better. Draw your lines and do it that way, it's up to you. okay? I'm gonna kind of do, I don't know, I'll do it this way. This is just kind of the way I'm used to. It's up to you, okay? So we have 1, 2, 3 little parts here. -5 minus 6. We have this one goes over here. -12f minus f, and we have a q plus 5q, okay? So these are the 3 parts. We need to simplify those, and then we have our answer. -5 minus 6, same signs add. Keep your sign, -11. Q, so remember I said it was a 1. So 1q plus 5q's. All right, again, let me put it in blue because it's not always there. 1 and a 1. So what's 1q plus 5q? Same signs add. 1 plus 5 gives you 6. And it's a positive 6q. Then over here we have a -12 minus 1. Remember, there's no number in front. The coefficient's a 1. -12 minus 1, same signs add. Keep your sign. And we have this. Now again, this is correct, but the answer key and the way down the road we need to get to is alphabetical with the constants at the end. So F comes before Q and this constant goes on the end. So we actually need to flip everything around. Now, -13, the sign in front. -13F. This is a positive 6Q and a -11. If we can understand this now, it will make algebra a lot easier when we're manipulating and moving some of these expressions and equations around. Okay? Hope this makes sense. Hope you did well with this. If not, watch the video again. Reach out to me, find other videos, reach out to family members, whatever you kind of need to do, because as we move forward with expressions and things, you need to know this and how to do this. All right? Well, thank you, and I'll see you soon.